week is something different that has to be done on this show. Anyway, welcome to In the Know with Robbie Cole. I am so excited to be here today. It's hot outside of Philadelphia. If you're out there walking around, make sure you hydrate yourself, get yourself together because it is treacherous. Now, aside from all of that, stay indoors where it's cool so you can get some great information about my special guest today. Now, since retiring 12 years ago from the federal government as an IT professional, she received a Bachelor of Science degree in Human Services and now holds a certificate in Biblical Counseling. The degree took her on a path of social work where she held a position of people employing people, assisting clients with disabilities, assisting people with disabilities to transition from their homes into the community and helping them find jobs and pairing them with additional resources. In 2018, she became administrative professional at Super Realty Group in a field that she already loved, real estate. And I'm not going to even read all of this because Joanne Bourne is our special guest today. You may have seen her featured in the Philadelphia Inquirer, doing things, big things out here in the community. And one thing that I hope, if you don't get anything else from today's show, is that no matter where you are in your life, there's always a chance for a new beginning. Now, keep in mind that I said that Miss Bourne had a whole career, 38 years in IT, and now she's making big moves in the real estate space. Joanne Bourne is not only a business professional, a real estate professional, a realtist, and the former chair of faith based and community initiatives. She's also the owner of Born Free and Associates LLC, where she provides consulting services for people who are interested in learning more about real estate, fixing and flipping properties. Now, you probably heard that fix and flip, fix and flip. We're going to bring Miss Bourne in. She's already smiling. I see her now. So she's already smiling, and I'm so excited to have Joanne here. Hello there, Joanne. How are you today?
Hi, Robin. Thanks for having me. I'm just so excited.
I'm happy you're here. I got to say, some months ago, I saw you in the newspaper, and you probably gonna blush now. Some months ago, I saw you in the newspaper, and I was like, "Wow, this lady! Look at her. She's doing all of these wonderful things in the community." Anytime somebody puts you in the paper and says, "Okay, you're doing good things in the community," it's true. You're doing good things in the community, and I want to give you your flowers right now. But the part that's really funny about all of this is that I went to a meeting for real estate professionals at Renata's on, I don't know if it's Baltimore or Lancaster Avenue.
Baltimore.
Everybody was there and seated, and I had a seat next to me, which I always do because I put my pocketbook on the chair. And it was the only seat left in the room. And here you come. Said, I want to sit there. You're going to sit there. Now, when you sat down, I said, I know this lady. And I knew exactly who you were. I said, go ahead, Miss Celebrity. I saw you in the newspaper. And since that time, you have continued to amaze me. Not only have you been such a positive force in my life, my professional life, giving advice that's been relevant and helpful, um, you're also an example of what we can aspire to. Just never give up. That's one thing that I know that you've always said to me. Don't give up because it's there. It's in you. It's a song that you want to sing. I want to thank you for all of that. Really. So I had a whole list of questions that I wanted to ask you today, but if you don't mind, let's just deviate a little bit and just talk about your being a real estate professional and how it is that you got to it, because that's an amazing story by itself.
Yeah, Robin, well, let me just say thank you. You are an amazing woman. And I'm so glad the day that I walked in Renata's kitchen and you reminded me because I forgot all really about the paper article that I was in. But, you never know how you're going to touch and when you're going to touch other people.
Hmm.
But yeah, so so I was in my IT government working stage, and I had just kind of got over some difficulties in my life, and I said, you know what, I want to go to real estate school to get my license,
Hmm.
and that was in 2009. I had already invested in some buying and selling real estate, and I just wanted to be on the other side. So I went took classes 2009, and I could not pass that test. It was like two, three, four times. So I said, you know what? I'm okay. I'm just going to forget, about being a realtor, and I'll just do buying and selling. So that's what I did. I invested in real estate. I retired in 2011 from the government. And I went on my happy way being an investor.
Hmm.
And so, fast forward, I got my degree in human services in 2015. And so I started working for this company, and I worked with disabled clients for a couple of years.
Hmm.
And I still wasn't satisfied. So I seen a job come up on Facebook. A friend of young person, a friend of mine, she posted Super Realty Group was looking for an admin secretary. So I was
Hmm.
like, oh, this sounds fun. So I was like, I can do that. So I put my little application in, and here and behold, I had like several interviews, and I was like, they not gonna hire me. I'm all retired and older now. And sure enough, they did. So now
Hmm.
this is 2018. Wow, right? So I was happy answering the phones, doing a little paperwork. And so one day I had told the young people that I had went to school, and they said, "Did you know you have 10 years to get your license after you take classes?" I was like, "Really?" I was like, "I'm good. I'm 62 now. I'm just happy answering your phones." And they would say, "Nope, we're gonna help you study." And that's what they did. In 2019 of January, I became a real estate agent.
And look at that. And just 2 short years after that, you are recognized in the newspaper for all of the fantastic work that you've been doing in the region. And so that's the part that I think is amazing. Now, I know that you wear a lot of different hats, and for everybody who's just tuning in, you're watching In the Know with Robbie Co. My name is Robin Aluko, your host, and I'm also a real estate agent. I'm an insurance agent and a public notary for Pennsylvania. Um, Last week, we had Teddy Pendergrass II on our show, and we talked about some things that are affecting the mortgage market, some things that you should do if you're looking to buy a house. So today with Joanne, I told her earlier that we had a really good conversation before we had this meeting today, and I said that I wanted to pivot a little bit just to give her an opportunity to encourage people as she has done for so many other people. Keep in mind that a lot of times people think that when you get to a certain stage in life, that it's not possible to start over and do a different thing. And that song, that seed, was deep down inside Joanne. And so when she had an opportunity to work as an administrative professional at Super Realty Group, she took that opportunity and it put her on another path where she's making a difference in the lives of people that she helps find properties. I just saw that you had a settlement the other day. That was cute. The theme for your settlement was very nice.
No,
And
well,
so
actually, that she had already bought her house.
mhm.
She invited me over Fourth of July.
So this lady is the lady I think I met her. Had met this lady because she looked familiar to me. Is that
Yes,
the one that I met with you the other
yes,
okay, so that's good.
yes,
So
yes.
and okay, so let's just talk about how people who are looking to buy a house right now, what are some of the things that they should do before they consider getting in contact with a real estate agent?
Well, Robin, one of the things that I find that we want to look at our credit profile, and we can also help people that have lower credit scores. But that's one of the first places that you want to look is at your credit profile, see how you're spending your money, see how you're saving, because you will need some savings in the bank. I have found that some people are still saving money under their mattress. You have to open up a bank account so that way the banks can see your flow of money and your saving patterns. So that's one of the first two places I would say is, you want to be credit worthy. So you have to get like some kind of credit card, showing the lenders how you pay your bills, even
Hmm.
if it's your car note or insurance and those kinds of, even your rent now. You can get where your rent is being shown on your credit as well.
Okay,
So
so
yeah.
making sure that the credit is okay. And if there are problems, should they look for you as the real estate agent to help to resolve it, or should they go to some other place before they come to you?
So what I'm finding, well, let me say the Urban League and the Affordable Housing Corporation of Philadelphia are two agencies. There's a few agencies that will help clients work on their credit.
Uh-huh.
So that's one of the things that we do here at Super Realty Group. We try to link them up with these agencies for free. Now, there are credit companies out here that help people, and I don't, nothing against them, but I think if you can link up with one of the agencies, especially for your first time home buying
Hmm.
clients, I would recommend that they get assistance. And even lenders now, some lenders are have programs where they are helping clients um, with their credit in the meantime while they're getting ready to buy their home.
Okay, so now going to the Affordable Housing Center of Pennsylvania or to the Urban League, or a lender might help a person to resolve any credit issues they have before they go and get pre-approved for a mortgage loan. So, what is the benefit of getting the mortgage pre-approval? Okay, I tackled all of the credit issues that I had. Now I'm going to get pre-approved. Why should I do that? Why does it matter?
So yeah, you definitely want to do that because you don't want to look for a house, let's say for $300,000, and fall in love with it, and then the bank is only going to lend you 200,000. So that's why it's very important to get your pre-approval. And most real estate agents won't even take you out unless they know how much you can spend. It's like taking your credit card and going to Macy's and you have $1,000, but you want something for 5,000.
Hmm.
Well, unless you're going to spend some extra cash that you may have, then you're not going to be able to afford it.
Okay, okay, and that's understandable. That's like, okay, I'd like to have an Aston Martin, but I'm not going to get that because I
Absolutely.
got a Hyundai budget.
As that's
I got
that's
a
a great
Hyundai budget.
analogy. That's a
So
great
I understand.
analogy.
I understand. So, in order to get linked up with a real estate agent and actually go out and look at properties, it's important to be able to go and get pre-approved for a mortgage. So, do you recommend that the potential buyer get pre-approved in more than one lender, or how? What should they consider when it comes to the pre-approval? Should it just be one company, or say that should they look at more than one?
Well, I recommend to my clients that they don't necessarily have to have their credit ran a few times, but they should go to and just ask questions in the beginning. And the rule for me is three.
Hmm.
Just find out the rates that, you can call them up without giving them your information, other than your name, of course. But you don't have to have them run your social security number, but just ask them about their rates. If they know of any grants for first time home buyers, just kind of like interviewing. Even your real estate agent, you can, interview them as well because every
Right.
fit is not fit for everybody.
Right.
I also tell people if you already have a relationship with the bank, go to the
Mm,
bank where you already have an account. and interview them. And then maybe your real estate professional can give you some suggestions. And so you can interview other people as well. So I recommend that you interview a couple before you decide to go with one.
Okay, well, in order to buy a house, you need a lot of people around you who know what they're doing. You need a realtor or a real estate agent, realtist, whichever. You need a title company. You may need an attorney because this is a big thing. You may want to take that contract to an attorney to have the attorney review it before you sign it. That's your personal choice, but we would always recommend that, I think. Um, who else would a customer need or a potential buyer need in their circle in order to get to the finish line as far as buying the house is concerned?
Yeah, so I think so. I think you talked about the lender. We talked about a real estate professional.
Hmm.
Um,
Title
maybe a
company.
credit person. If the bank or lender you're using cannot help you, if you need help with your credit.
Hmm.
And even I know the Urban League and they help you like start a savings program. Let's say if you don't have enough money in the bank, they can kind
Ah.
of give you strategies how to start saving. Let's say because I meet some clients they're like 6 months out, as far as saving and getting their they also may want to, if they're hopefully they're working. Um, they may have a 401k
Mhm.
that they may be able to tap into if necessary. So it's so many other little things that like you said. But I like you said, I like what you said, surround yourself. And let me just say this, don't listen to people that have not done it before, or sometimes people have done it before and they've had a nightmare. You still have to try to find out things for yourself, right?
Oh, do you mean like a different buyer? Like, okay, my girlfriend bought a house and she told me her real estate agent did this and that and the other and blah, blah, blah. So I'm not buying
Absolutely.
no house. Or I'm gonna listen to my
Exactly.
girlfriend and my girlfriend don't know what she talking about. Is that it?
Exactly. Yeah. Some people, like I said, you don't mind people sharing their stories, but you have to walk your own journey. And it is going to be a journey for you, your process. I do tell my clients, try to be patient because it's a process that sometimes can seem grueling because you might be asked for the same paperwork over and over. So I found some of the clients, getting frustrated. And remember, the real estate agent and the lender, they work for you. So
Correct.
if it's someone that you don't feel comfortable calling and finding out information, then you don't need to have that professional because they are working for you. So never feel bad for calling someone and asking them something that you don't know.
Okay, and we too will explain a lot of things to them, to a particular buyer. Now, keep in
Yeah.
mind that a real estate agent is a real estate agent. The real estate agent is not the loan officer, and the real estate agent is not the title officer or the title agent. The real estate agent really should stay in their own lane. They may know, but as far as getting information for you or explaining something to you, uh, I would recommend that if you have a question about, or rather, excuse me, I should ask this question: would you recommend that the buyer, um, if they have a specific question related to a particular part of the process, meaning, okay, I have a question about my mortgage, I'm going to ask the mortgage loan officer. I have a question about this title report, I'm going to ask the title officer. Or you, as the real estate agent, would be the liaison between those groups.
Yeah.
Is that something that you would recommend?
Yeah, and you're absolutely on point with that. We must stay in our lanes. And like you said, it may be some things that we know, but we still
Hmm.
should point that person to the expert. And like you said, realtors, we help you find your house, we help you with some paperwork.
Hmm.
But, each entity has their own lane that you want to make sure that you feel comfortable going and asking those questions. Or like you said, we are the liaison, which will point you to in the right direction.
Okay, so I want to pivot just a little bit.
Okay.
If you are just tuning in, you're watching In the Know with Robbie Coe. My name is Robin Aluko, and I'm a licensed professional On today's show, we're talking about real estate as it relates to first time home buyers, and our special guest is Joanne Bourne of Bourne and Associates LLC. Bourne2serveyou.com is her email. When we come back from this message from our sponsor, we'll talk more with Joanne and we'll ask some additional questions to give you an idea of what's going on in the real estate market because some people are kind of scared to put their foot or throw their hat into the ring. We'll be right back with more after this. At Robico and Associates, we help business owners protect what matters most. For many years, we've specialized in working with real estate agents and investors in other service-based businesses like beauty and nail salons, barbershops, and much more. I'm also a real estate agent and public notary for Pennsylvania. At Robico and Associates, we're licensed to discuss insurance products in 13 states. We can help you customize an insurance solution to protect your assets, especially as your business grows. We educate our clients to help them make better choices because we understand your business and we want to know you. Contact us today to learn more about how we can help you make better business decisions and protect what matters most to you. Welcome back. You're watching In the Know with Robbie Co. My name is Robin Aluko, and I'm a licensed professional in Pennsylvania. Today's special guest is the amazing and incomparable Joanne Bourne. She's a real estate agent and a realtist for Pennsylvania. And I just like to pivot a little bit and ask a question about your recent role as the chair of faith based and community engagement for the Philadelphia Metropolitan Board of Realtors. Can you tell me a little bit about what PMBR is all about and what made you join and how your being the chair was of benefit to the people here in Philadelphia? Because you've done a lot of great things, including headlining or spearheading that meeting we had with Bishop Worsham from Agape Church in LA. That was pretty big.
Yeah, it was, Robin. Thank you. PNBR is the Philadelphia chapter of NARAB, which is the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. PNBR is the Philadelphia Metropolitan Board of Realtors. Like I said before, is the Philadelphia chapter of NARAB, and that position really was amazing.
Mhm.
I'm just so thankful that they thought of me to do that. I have actually joined because my broker, Dave Hudson, was the pro tem vice president at the
Mhm.
time,
Mhm.
and he thought that I could, be a chair of the faith-based and civic engagement initiative. So I took on that role, and it was really rewarding because it all fits in with what I do as a realtor.
Mhm.
So when you become a realtist, you're belonging to one of the oldest African American organizations in our nation, I believe. And
Yes.
and back in the 40s, the realtors, people that were aspiring to be realtors, could not become realtors. So a group of people, founded this organization, and so they called themselves realtists. So now, me and Robin are not just realtors, but because we belong to this organization, we're realtists. And so I had the amazing, I pulled a breakfast together for religious leaders and the community leaders, and we all met in one room. I ordered food, and shout out to Julius from Fulton Mortgage. He opened up their space to allow us to come there for breakfast and just talk about the democracy in housing and the state of housing in our country, especially when it comes to people of color that may have little or less, and what I find that, I mean, sometimes we just have a little lesser income, but there's still, I mean, I'm just so excited when I just help someone with the housing choice voucher buy a new house. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
that's
so,
fantastic.
oh yeah, and
That's fantastic.
I didn't even know PHA was doing that. People that have
Okay.
been faithful on their Section 8 um, vouchers renting, they are now helping them buy their own homes. Isn't that
Okay.
so
So
exciting?
let's pause here because we
Yeah.
talked about that in a couple of shows ago. We had the president of PMBR on the show, and she talked about that program. Now, I know that there are a lot of people who, okay, let's just go back a little bit. A few months ago, or I'll say a few weeks ago, PHA, the Philadelphia Housing Authority, opened up the waiting list and got some new people to be added to um, Section 8. And one thing that keeps coming up is, "Oh, wow, did you know that you could buy a house with your housing your voucher?" And it's a great opportunity, but everybody doesn't qualify. Can you talk about some of the things that I mean, we're going to keep everything confidential, of course, but just the process. Can you tell people who might be watching who have a Section 8 voucher how they could get in the pipeline for it, or what steps they need to take, maybe with a caseworker or a manager, case manager, to get into the pipeline for?
Yeah, Robert. Now, unfortunately, I really don't know the whole background
Mhm,
story of it. But I would definitely sure. I'm sure it starts with the case manager.
mhm.
Also, this young lady had a Philly grant case person, a manager that was working with her from, I think she was from Urban League. No, she was from Affordable Housing Corporation. So I
Okay.
believe that PHA and the Affordable Housing Corporation of Philadelphia are working together.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure so your income has something to do with it. So you still have to be in the income limit to afford for the housing choice voucher to still help you pay your mortgage. They'll help you pay part of your mortgage as opposed
Okay.
to helping you pay, but you still have to fall in the income guidelines of the program. So, and unfortunately, I mean, we had to look a little longer because in the price range,
That she was looking for.
yeah, some of the
Mhm,
houses were not too livable.
mhm.
So that was kind of like part of the dilemma because the housing prices in Philadelphia are so expanded now. Even though I find that, now with the rates and everything, things are calming down a little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit.
Okay,
Um,
so let me just jump in and let you know that you're getting a lot of feedback in the comments section over here. I'm going to show some comments here. Valerie Boggs is saying that this show has been very informative. The information is informative, and she's saying thank you. Also, Mark Smalls is saying, "Hey, this is great information." Penchita Perry is saying, "Congratulations to you, Robin." And Darlene Meekins is saying, "Hello, ladies. It's great to see both of you. Wow, this is great. And thanks for sharing." And we also have Vincent Bourne saying, "Thanks for sharing this information." I got to say that this show has been very informative. And so, what I would like you to do, only because this is so important and I think is a big part of who you are, the realtist, when you hosted the event with Bishop Worsham at Fulton Mortgage June 9th, there was a discussion about the lack of affordable housing for African Americans, not just in Philadelphia, but in the entire United States. One thing that Bishop Wortham said, I know I'm saying his name wrong, Worsham,
Worship.
Bishop Worsham said is that the churches have an opportunity to create housing because a lot of them already own buildings anyway, to create housing opportunities for people. Is that something that you feel is, I'm not asking you to disagree with the bishop, but is that something that you think we should walk towards, like trying to get the church to become more involved in helping to create opportunities for African Americans in the city?
Well, I think one of the things that I found was, yes, some of the churches do have parcels that they own, and I think that's one of the things as realtors we were trying to express to them, that if if they needed assistance, because sometimes they have people in their congregation that may not know much about real estate, or even the pastors sometimes. So I think that's one of the areas that we were trying to let them know that we were here if they needed us. But the other caveat with this was that we're trying to build a relationship so that we can partner with the religious leaders, so that we can come into the congregation to give them more information, so that way we can inform their congregations of how house purchasing,
Hmm.
how important it may be. It may not be for everybody. I have found how home ownership is not for everybody, but I think if you have the information, and that's, I think, what, as realtors and realtors, that's the part of our um, job, I think, is to get people the information
Right.
that they need to make informed decisions. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
so, I just want to say, real estate has, coming from being living in an apartment with my grandmother,
Hmm.
and beautiful place. It was clean. It was, it was small, and it was my beginnings, right? Great beginnings. But real estate has taken this little girl and has afforded me, I can't even I can't even express how much it has afforded me to be able to live my own life and help others live their lives. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I think that's why I'm so passionate. I'm not really a rich, I'm not, it's not, but I'm rich in that, I don't have to worry about nobody putting me out, no, I can't put something on the wall. It's just afforded me so much independence, and I just want everybody to maybe, if they want to
Hmm.
take part in, owning real estate. Even for my family, I own real estate, so I'm able to help them, have places to stay. So, real estate, and my grandmother and my mother, those are the kinds of ways they were thinking, or maybe not. They may not knew how much, the land that they purchased was going to do
Hmm.
for the family. So,
Okay, so if you're just tuning in, you're watching In the Know with Robbie Co. I'm Robin Aluko, real estate agent, insurance agent, and public notary. And our special guest today is business owner, construction consultant, real estate agent, realtist. I want to say she could sing
what did
I'm so
she?
embarrassed. I'm embarrassed because what I was going to say is she could sing, rap, dance in just one show. But you, that's from one of those videos from back in the day. I wonder, I could sing, rap, dance in just one show because I'm something like that. But anyway, I messed up. I messed up.
Okay,
The joke is
okay,
not good now, and it's my fault that I
okay.
messed up that joke. But if you out there and you got the message, I think you know what I said. But Joanne is absolutely fantastic, and I think that we need to spend more time educating people in our community about the importance of real estate. So Darlene Meekins said that information about real estate is critical to the minority community. Now I could come here and sing you all of the statistics about what's going on in the real estate market as far as the wealth gap and some inequity and home ownership fell and all of these different things that happen. The truth is that there's not going to be more land that's going to be created. It's the land that we have is what we have. I think what's very important is this. If you find that you're interested in purchasing a property and some other people have said If you feel like it's something that you would want to do with another person that you know, maybe a brother or a sister, cousin, something like that, or somebody you don't know, that you just both have the goal of buying a property and your two incomes together can help make it so. Or if you're an individual who has the resources to do it, the thing that's important too, and I'm recapping now, check your credit to make sure everything is okay, as well as choosing a real estate agent. And Mrs. Bourne said earlier that the person you choose initially may not be the one for you. You might have to interview a couple of people for before you get there. She also said, "Hey, don't listen to your good girlfriend down the street who told you about a horrible experience that she had about buying a property." And so, what we want to do is make sure that our credit is together. We choose a real estate professional and we investigate mortgage products that can either be helpful to us or they may have some fees in it that we didn't understand. So that's something that we have to look at too. Next, when you find a property, Miss Joanne, what would you say people should do? Because an offer can make the difference between whether you get the property or not. Tell us about that.
Well, the first, I wanted to say also, be while you're looking for a property, depending on what you're looking for as far as demographics, school, schools for your children, the neighborhoods. So those are one of the things that I want to say that you want to start to seek out for yourself before you seek your professional. Just start thinking about where you want to live. How many bedrooms do you think your family needs? How many bathrooms and those kinds of things.
Okay, I
Um,
understand.
yeah. And the second part is what was your question? I'm sorry.
Well, I just wanted to I just did a recap. So the question really is, okay, we did all of those things. Okay, I'm going to
Oh,
put that in the
awesome.
front. We evaluated where we want to live, and I can't say enough that it's important for you to go to that neighborhood during different times of the day to find out what's going on. So if you say, okay, I want to live in Strawberry Mansion near 33rd and Dolphin, then you need to go to 33rd and Dolphin to see what's going on over there so that you can
Absolutely.
have an understanding of what's going on in that community. That's the first thing. I figured out where I want to go. I looked at my credit. I got a real estate agent. I got a lender. Now I got a property and it's time to make an offer.
Right.
The offer really can be a make or break. You can't lowball people, otherwise you might not make it. Still in this market. So
That's true.
what recommendation would you make to a person who's making an offer on a property to help that offer stand out among other offers that might be available for a property that they're looking for?
Well, Robin, that could be a little tricky sometimes, depending on the pre-approval for your client.
Hmm.
But one of the things that you can do is you can put escalation. So let's say you put in just for what they are requiring. Well, one of the things I do is I call the agents, right, as a real estate professional, and I just ask them if they have any other offers on the table,
Hmm.
and I let them know that so I have a conversation with the other agent just to kind of feel things out to see. Um, so, I mean, you always want to do a home inspection. So you don't want to decline having a home inspection. But some of the things you can do is put an escalation clause in that. So what is that? An
Okay.
escalation clause is where you put in an offer, and then just in case someone else puts in an offer, you can say, I will go $100 above, let's say, what that other person offered. But then you want to put a cap on it. You still have to put a cap on it because your pre-approval may be only but so much.
Hmm.
So, those, it kind of gets tricky for first-time home buyers
Right.
sometimes, to really say, I mean, I've seen people write letters to
Mm.
the owners, even though there's pros and cons of I hear people say about that. it's good, it's bad, but I have seen people write letters and say, I really love your home, kind of like, please pick me,
Mm.
So I've seen people do that. So it's just, there's different things that you can do, but those are the couple things that I do for my client. And one of the things your real estate person will look up the comps in the area to see what the houses are going, so that makes sure that you're not paying too much for the house. And also your appraisal would do that as well. So if you put in too high of a bid, um, especially if it's FHA, um, they're not going to want you to buy a house more than what they appraised the house for.
Okay, so I understand exactly what you're saying. Okay, so you're watching In the Know with Robbie Co. We will be right back after this brief message from our sponsor, Robbie Co. and Associates LLC.
Do you know how to protect what matters most to you? At Robico and Associates, we do. Whether a new or existing business owner, you'll benefit by scheduling an insurance review with us. We offer all insurances, from business and key person to voluntary benefits like vision, dental, and cancer insurance. We don't just sell, we educate. Contact us today. We'll help you protect what matters most to you and your business.
Okay, we're back and we're speaking with Joanne Bourne, Realtor, Realtist, and we're talking about first-time home buyers and the real estate market here in Philadelphia. So, right now, Joanne, can you give us an idea of what you're experiencing in this current real estate market? It feels a little different than it has in the past. Is there any insight that you can give to us about what's happening in the market right now?
Yeah, I thought that things were going to get. I think the housing market has shifted a little bit. I think the prices have gone down, and some of the sellers are working with buyers
Hmm.
with closing costs and those kinds of things. But depending on the location, I'm also finding that there are multiple offers, and especially, like I was telling one of my clients, the good stuff goes first,
Right.
fast.
Hmm.
And so sometimes if you see something, you really got to jump on it, because those kinds of things, will go fast, and then sometimes you miss the opportunity. So I do think that the housing market is still strong, especially in Philadelphia. People are coming from all over, investing in our market here. The land is a little cheaper than New York and New Jersey. So I find that, especially for investors, they are, kind of buying a lot of things. And that's why we have a big rental market here.
Mm.
Yeah, and rents are so expensive, and that's why I really encourage people, be your own landlord, fire your landlord, and be a homeowner. I'm just so adamant. Even, and I'm a landlord, right? And I want to make everybody a home buyer, because listen, I told somebody it costs to be the boss, and I want to be a boss. So, but everybody can't be a boss, right? So that's
Mm.
why we got to have some tenants, and that's why we have some landlords, because everybody can't be a boss. So, but if you want to be a boss, I encourage you. Because see, once you become your own landlord, then you can become somebody else's landlord. See, and this is stuff I didn't know in my 20s, 30s, and 40s. Really,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? So it's not like I've been doing this all along, right? But these are the things that I found that have worked for me, and so it may work for others, And so it's a lot, I thank God for the people and the young people that have come in my circle. And that's really important too. Surround yourself with people that are growing, right? Because if you're
Absolutely.
the sharpest, crayon in the box, or, that saying, um, you need to jump in another box, right? You don't want to be the most knowledgeable person in the room. you want to keep growing, you want to keep learning,
Sure.
other things that you don't know.
Sure.
So that's why I'm so thankful for you. You don't know how many things, well, you probably know how many things that I buzz you about. How do you do a QR code? How do you use Canva? So you got to surround yourself. And that's why I'm so thankful. Thank you for having me, because I've never even been on a podcast before.
Well,
You know,
it's my pleasure. And the reason that I invited you to come to this show is because you're making a difference in lives, and I don't think you know, or maybe people don't express to you just how much of a positive impact that you have on their lives. I can remember sitting in the office. I'm also a member of Super Realty Group, and I remember sitting in the office and I was saying, wow, I don't know if it was I was talking about my car, that someone had tried to steal my car and it was damaged. And I would say, oh, how am I going to make it or whatever. I don't remember what it was, but I was feeling really bad about it. And you told me, girl, you're rich. And you helped me to see all of the things that I had. And I'm focusing on one thing I didn't have. And it's not just that, it's many times that you have talked to me and you sort of helped me to refocus my attention on the thing that I really wanted. And you do that for a lot of people. We've been to events together where we went to an event to talk about a book. What was it? The Girlfriend's Guide to Being a Millionaire.
oh yeah, yeah.
That event ended up turning into something entirely different. It was sort of like uh, a cheerleading session for all of the beautiful women who were at that meeting. And you are a big part of the reason why it changed. Like we still talked about the book, but we applied the elements of the book that were important to
Wow.
our lives in order to help us see, okay, this is the next place to go. And so
Amen.
for that, I'm going to say thank you. I have some more comments for you. Penshita Perry said that you're blessed to make a difference in people's lives one property at a time. Now, you said that you bought your first property and you're now a landlord. You own several properties and you're helping people with renting, and you're also helping people to purchase property as a real estate agent. So right now, let's pivot just a little bit because we only have a few minutes left in the show. And let's talk about your business, Bourne and Associates LLC, and the things you do in order to help contractors or things that you do in order to help investors with properties here in Philadelphia or in the region.
So yeah, so my name, Born Free Associates LLC. That's kind of really my business, where I do my real estate through um, buying and selling, and also my real estate. But I want to talk a little bit about my Shabby the Chic, my newest business. Um, so through these years, I've brought many properties that were distressed. And so a couple of years ago, I brought one, and I did this little video, and I said, this is shabby, and I walked through because the house had been empty for like 18 years.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, and I was so blessed to be able to transform this house that had been, like I said, distressed for so many years, and I turned it into chic. So I had said in the video, I said, yeah, I'm going to turn shabby into chic, just kind of watch my journey. But through the years, and even all the way back to the 1990s, my grandmother's home, the city helped me. And, and some things you do, you don't realize how you're setting a path.
Hmm.
But in the 90s, my kids were in high school, and I moved over to my mother's, and me and my husband at the time, we transferred that house, and we turned it from shabby to chic.
Hmm.
But and I have done many homes like that. So I started shabby to chic recently because I said I wanted to help other people transfer their house if they needed assistance.
Hmm.
And so that's how Shabby the Chic was recently born. So I have my general contractor's license and I'm still learning. So it's a new business, but I've done it for myself many times.
Hmm.
So in my last project, I just want to say that I hired a guy that I had interviewed his properties, and he ended up being a cousin,
Oh,
my
wow.
distance cousin, right? And then I sold the house to one of my other cousin's daughters.
Hmm.
So that was just like so surreal to me. So two cousins that I never knew, that I did business on one end, and I actually sold the house. So it's just amazing. This journey of real estate for me has been so amazing. And I'm just so thankful that God has allowed to use me as a conduit to
Hmm.
help other people. And so amazing to have worked a whole career. And now I really get to do what I love.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing that you had an opportunity to work and God has blessed you that you've been able to work for all of those years as an IT professional and for the federal government? And then now, after retiring, that you were able to finally live your purpose, the thing that you feel most in tune with. And you said you felt like you were a conduit, but I say that you let people know they can do it. And so, whether it's transforming a property, whether it's buying a house for the first time, whether it's consulting services, whatever thing it is that you're doing, you allow people to know through your expertise and your gentle way of handling people that it's something they can do. And so I'd like you to give people an opportunity to learn how they can connect with you on the internet, whether it's social media. I have your telephone number and email address scrolling at the bottom of the screen. So if you want, you could take that information down there. But where can people find you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook? Are you using those services?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram as Angel Hemi, Angel Hemi, Hemi 53. Uh, and I think I'm at Joanne Bourne on Facebook.
Okay, so if you want to get in contact with Joanne, please do that. Call her on the telephone and or send an email. Connect with her on social media to let her know that you're interested in working together. We have another comment, and this is from Darlene Meekins. It's amazing to do with you what you love, and now you will never work another day in your life. And that is so amazing. What a very nice comment from Darlene
Thank
Meekins.
you, Darlene.
Um, I
One of
went
my
to,
mentors.
and she a big wig in the real estate world too.
Yes, yes,
So that's the part I really appreciate about her and about being a real estate agent is that there are so many women who are involved and who are taking on roles that traditionally in the real estate space were something that was led by men. I'm not trying to say anything except that the real estate is changing. The face, I don't want to say the face of real estate, but really it is. The face of real estate, I think, is changing. I mean, we still
yeah,
have a far way to go, but
yeah,
it's great to see women. Okay, you said you are a contractor. You have a contractor's license. And so 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that's not something that you would even hear
you're
about a
right.
woman. You'd be like, wait a minute, a woman has a contractor's license? That's something. So, and that's
Absolutely,
amazing. So I would like
absolutely.
to give you an opportunity. We have just about 2 or 3 minutes left. I'd like to give you an opportunity to give any final thoughts on the show and again, tell people how they could contact you if they'd like to work with you in the future.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Robbie Co, for having me on this distinguished network of yours. I just want to say to anyone listening, like she said, you can do it. Go for it. I'm only here through perseverance, some hard work, and I know God's grace and mercy upon my life. But I'm just saying, if you stop, if you feel like you can't catch your breath, just take a moment, catch your breath again, and keep going for it. Keep going for it, because you just never know how many things are still in store for you in your life. So I'm like I said, just you looking at a woman that really has gone through some trials and some tribulations, but I'm telling you, because of the perseverance and just stick to itness,
Hmm.
just on my journey, I just keep going.
Okay, so since you said that, I think that I want to do one just last message here because that is, it's amazing to me how uh, we can touch each other and make our lives better. Uh, you, as the person who's given that good advice, and then the person who's receiving it, both of you become enriched because of that. So I'm going to say thank you for joining us today. If you're just tuning in, you missed a fantastic show today. In the Know with Robbie Co. Our special guest was Joanne Bourne, real estate agent and realtor, contractor, business owner, all of those things, and a woman who has been celebrated by the news media here in Philadelphia. I'm gonna call her a local celebrity. And I just want to thank Joanne for all of the information that she provided. If you'd like to contact Joanne, please call her at 215-416-5316 or send email to info@borntoserve.com. Now, I want to go back and apologize because I think I might have said Born and Associates LLC. It's
That's
Born
okay.
Free and Associates LLC. And every time I say Born Free, I always say Born Free, as with free as the wind blows. And so I don't know how I made that mistake. But anyway, I'm so thankful to have you on the show. I'm going to play one more announcement. It's the public service announcement, and then we'll end the show. Next week,
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
thank you again for tuning in to Watch in the Know with Robbie Co. Thank you again, Miss Joanne. Have a great week.
Thank you, Robin. And I like to shout out my husband because Born Free was born out of me having his last name, and he had some passwords with Born Free. So I thought, no, that's a nice little
Mm,
twist.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, thank you. But thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Take care.